So, we have our first of three books in this next set. We're getting close to the end of the epistles, and we have a trilogy kind of to almost take us out here. And it's actually, if you really want to throw in the precursor to this trilogy, it's a trilogy that follows up on a big hit, the Gospel of John. First, second, third John. You see, it could be the same author. It might be. But at the very least, if it's not the same author as the Gospel of John, the beloved disciple, it is certainly someone who was a disciple of this beloved disciple, the next generation, so to speak, because it's very full of Johine or John theology, understanding of Christ, Gnostic influences. Now, Gnosticism, that's a word that gets thrown around a lot. What is it? The center of understanding for Gnosticism is this idea of secret knowledge, that the world is not what it appears. Kind of like the Matrix, right? If you're living in the Matrix, man, it's not the real world. It's kind of what Gnostics were like. Gnostic Christians believe that God, through Jesus, shared the secret knowledge that revealed that this world is not actually the be-all, end-all. That there's more to life than what we know already. It's interesting because those Gnostic roots are still kind of present in Christianity, even though full-on what became a more expanded version of Gnostic Christianity was defeated at some of the early church councils. Probably more than you wanted to know. But that idea of this is more to this life. There's more to live right now, right? The Gospel of John, Jesus says, I have come so that you may live life abundantly. Not even just live life. You may have life and live life abundantly. The point is, this theme continues in these epistles. This is almost like John is saying, you know what? There are people who don't believe what I wrote in the gospel. So we got to have some follow-ups here. We're going to have this trilogy to beef up. Yes, I gave you this testament of Jesus, and he's probably writing in Asia Minor or modern-day Turkey, perhaps Ephesus. Turkey again coming up, right? This was an area of the Roman Empire that they wouldn't identify as Romans. There's a lot of poor people, and in fact, that's the area where the wealthy Roman elites would have their summer homes on the coast there, and so there's actually a lot of anti-Roman sentiment in this area. Poorer people that the gospel just kind of took off in those areas, right? They have nothing to do with that state religion. And so it makes sense then that Peter, that was yesterday, John is writing to say, we are here to show you that this word is true. And to combat against the doubt that's happening, that not only is the life we live right now not that great, you would agree, people of Asia Minor, it's not that great. Rome stinks, right? There's something better. Our God came and gave us life so that we may live life abundantly right now. He also goes to counter this idea that was floating, a Gnostic Christian argument that Jesus didn't actually come in the flesh. He was kind of like a force ghost that lived among us, if you will. John makes clear, no, flesh. The word became flesh. It's an important part of our faith, fully human, fully divine. It's a big part of this book. So, why would you read 1 John? Looking for that match. Well, if you like the Gospel of John and you want to follow up on some of the practicum of that theology that was brought up, if you liked how he shared Jesus' stories that were the take-home points were larger than maybe some of the other Gospels, theologically, rationally speaking, this is the follow-up. This expounds on it even more. So if you're a fan of all that, this is the book for you. And in fact, maybe tomorrow's book or not tomorrow, Monday's book will be, or the book after that will continue next week. Stay tuned. I know you're excited. We have all weekend excited for 2 John. You can read ahead. That's okay. We can still talk about it after you've read it. Have a good weekend.